All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. We're going to turn and face the east towards Jerusalem, and we're going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. All right? Shalom to the elect, those that are fighting to enduring to the end, and that are calling on the true names of the Father in the name of the only begotten Son, which are Yahweh, which is the name of the Heavenly Father, meaning He is. And that is who the world ignorantly calls God. And Arwah Yahweh Shai, who is His only begotten Son. And that is who the world also ignorantly calls Jesus, who's, by the way, a so-called black man, who only came for the Israelites, all right? So as the topic or the title of this sermon lesson is, it says, prosperity of the wicked is short-lived, in parentheses, AI, artificial intelligence, okay? Because that's what the wicked is pushing. And who is the wicked, you may ask? According to the Holy Bible, the wicked would be the so-called white man, or more commonly known as Esau Edom in the Bible, okay? Now, he's in his last rulership, and he's getting ready to push this agenda forward, all right? And in the midst of it, it's going to seem as if he's prospering, all right? But it's short-lived. It's only for a moment, okay? Because why? The Lord has a specific purpose for him, all right? And you can't resist that. So this devil is just doing what the Lord is commanding him to do, all right? So the prosperity of the wicked is short-lived. Let's open up with Jeremiah chapter 28 and verse 8, all right? This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 28 and verse 8. It reads, "The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence." See? So the same thing our forefathers did back then in the Roman Empire and the Persian Mede Empire, and even going back as far as the Babylonian Empire, we're doing that same thing today, okay? We're prophesying against what? Great kingdoms, empires, all right? And America is no different. America is an empire, whether you want to accept it or not, all right? In the same way that all the other empires went down in the past, America is going to go down in the same way, but even harder, all right? America is going to go down with what? Missiles, okay? And we're telling you, the prosperity of the wicked is short-lived, all right? Although it seemed like it's making great advancements with this whole AI technology, it's all to further push the Lord's agenda, his will, okay? Because the Lord wants this man to bring forth that RFID microchip, all right? Because shortly afterwards, the end of America is going to be finished, okay? And we're here to tell you before it happens, all right? That what? The prosperity of the wicked is short-lived. See? If you're thinking that this kingdom is going to continue to go on and you're going to, be what they call merged with machine transhumanism, you're sadly mistaken, all right? That's not the end-all be-all for you to take a chip and then for you to receive universal basic income and for you to become one with this system, all right? No, that's just to differentiate between who is the Lord's and who is this man's Esau Edom, okay? Because if you take that chip, that microchip, that only means that you don't belong to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, all right? And that you're destined to be destroyed, okay? Especially if you're here in the United States of America, AKA Babylon the Great, all right? So let's read that again. This is Jeremiah chapter 28 and verse 8. It reads, the prophets, who are the prophets? The seers, okay? The ones that the Lord was dealing with to give the people the warning to what? Turn and repent before he brings what? Calamities, pestilence, the sword, famine. so on and so forth. It's no different from today. All right. He sent forth men that are prophesying to you to tell you to what? Turn back to him. Seek him while he may be found. All right. Because the time is coming when this word isn't going to be readily available. When you're not going to have the chance to walk up and down the sidewalk, the streets, and bump into a man of the Lord. Where you're not going to be able to scroll through the internet or go on social media and scoff and mock at a man of the Lord. All right. Those days are shortly coming to an end. All right. So you need to seek him. All right. Just like back then when Noah preached for 120 years that there was a flood coming. They what? They scoffed, they mocked, they thought he was crazy. All right. And to that first drop came from the sky. All right. And then it just came flooding down after that. All right. Well, guess what? We doing the same thing. All right. We out here prophesying, preaching, telling you to get right before what? That first drop hit. Okay. Because once that first drop hit, that's it. All right. If you're not part of the elect, don't expect to be what? Delivered. All right. And the deliverance is going to be in a spectacular fashion. All right. In the way of what? Spaceships. All right. Or what you call UFOs. But the Bible refers to them as what? Chariots of the Most High. All right. That's how we're going to escape from the missiles that's coming to destroy this place here in America. All right. And it may seem far-fetched or far out there for you. All right. Especially if you're a non-believer. But see, this is where faith comes. This is where faith comes into play. You got to have faith. You got to believe. Okay. That's the only way you're going to make it throughout it. All right. And ultimately, you have had to be preordained or predestined from the beginning before time to receive this message. All right. Because if not, you're not going to get it. It's just going to go over your head. All right. But it ain't for everyone. It's only for the elect. What we're doing is we're fishing for men. We're fishing for the elect. All right. Because once that number is sealed, then all hell could break loose. All right. And we believe that we're vehemently close to that dam being ready to break, because the number we believe has all but been sealed, 144,000. All right. 12,000 men from each tribe that must hear this word. All right. We believe vehemently that has been sealed. So now we finna see shortly, Lord willing, that all hell is about to break loose. Okay. So let's read that again. Jeremiah chapter 28 and verse 8. It reads, the prophets or the seers, another word for prophet is seer. All right. They was given the vision by who? Yahweh. It says the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied what? Because you had Jeremiah, Isaiah, Ezekiel. What did they all have in common? They were prophets, all right? And they weren't popular. And we understand that, okay? Just as if today, if you don't preach a message that's conducive to what the people want to hear, they want to have your head on the chopping block. And we understand that the times we're coming into, we're not going to be looked at as a very popular people, all right? Especially once the media puts all these different narratives and spin them into a place that, hey, you're the reason why the economy is tanked. You're the reason why this is happening. And we understand that, see? We understand that, but guess what? We counted the cost, okay? Even to the extent that we've put our lives on the line, all right? Because there's no more honorable cause than to put your life on the line for what you believe. And that's this truth, all right? Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. And we give all praises, call Haloyim for waking us up to this truth. Because why? He didn't have to wake us up. We could have still been stuck in dumb mode, all right? Sleep, oblivious to what's going on around us. But wait, he woke us up out of our sleep just in time to get this time-sensitive message before what? All hell breaks loose, okay? And that's why, hey, we got to go hard, man, because we understand the severity behind that, okay? So it says, Jeremiah 28 and 8, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms. America is a great kingdom. America is an empire, all right? And it's at its end, all right? They say an empire usually runs its course for 250 years or so. Well, guess what? This July 4th makes that 250th year that America has been into play. And America isn't a country, it's a corporation, all right? And it's becoming more and more evident, all right? And you people, you're just as, I can't even say employees, you're just its slaves, okay? You're a slave to this system, all right? And to capitalize and to put a exclamation mark on it, they're gonna make you take that chip. They're not gonna make you. They're gonna say in order for you to buy and sell, you have to have that chip, all right? Which brings us back to the title. The prosperity of the wicked is short-lived, okay? Because why? This devil is having to rush to do everything, okay? Now here it is, starting next year in 2027, all car makers have to equip their cars with a camera that's going to read whether or not you're capable of driving, all right? And if you're not, guess what? They're going to turn your car off with a kill switch, okay? So they're going to have a camera in your car that can read your face to tell whether or not you're sleepy, whether or not you're operable to drive a vehicle. They're going to have a device where it can measure the air quality inside your cabin to see whether or not your breath exhibits that of an alcoholic. And if it does, they're going to shut your car down, all right? This is all coming to pass starting next year in 2027, all right? It's been put into law back when Biden was in office, okay? But now under this Trump administration, they're pushing that agenda because why? They're all the same. They like you to believe that a Republican and a Democrat is different, but at the core of it, it's all the same. Democracy, all right? Democracy is all the same. They just play with you. They give you a quote unquote illusion of voting red or blue, all right? But see, once the people figure it out, all hell's gonna break loose, okay? And we're vastly approaching that time, all right? Which is why, although they just ended the partially government shutdown over DHS, Department of Homeland Security, they still are funding ICE, all right? And guess what? To let you know that this thing is scripted and programmed, ICE don't have to reveal their face and they don't have to wear body cams because why? They're being separately funded, okay? I believe they just got $100 and something million to fund them, all right? Showing you that this was never about a Department of Homeland shutdown, okay? It's about an agenda that they're pushing, all right? And those ICE troops, hey, they're part of that great multitude, that burning wrath, that great multitude, all right? So when all hell breaks loose, if you come up against them, guess what? ICE agents are gonna be right there in your city, your town, along with UN, United Nations troops, and all of that, okay? So it's all coming to pass, okay? And we're here to tell you before it happens. So you can do what? Turn to the Lord, repent, and throw yourself at his mercy, all right? So let's read that again. Jeremiah 28:8, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war. We're telling you the same thing. War is on the horizon, all right? Right now, we're just in the rumor stage, okay? The Strait of Hormuz, all right? That thing ain't opened up yet, all right? Gas is going to steadily climb, all right? It's up to 4 something right now. People are complaining, all right? Well, guess what? Get ready for hard times, all right? Get ready for hard times, okay? The gas price is going to be the least of your concerns in that day, all right? Just wait till it hit the food shelves. Because how do you think these trucks are coming in to deliver the food? They're not running on air. They're running on fuel, diesel to be exact, all right? When diesel continue and when the prices of diesel continually decline, guess what? You're going to pay more for that food, man, all right? So brace yourself for a very costly summer. All right. If you got plans to go on vacation, you might want to rethink it. Okay. You might want to rethink it. All right. So, war is one of the things that our forefathers prophesied about. What else? It says, and of evil. All right. So, we're doing the same thing. All right. And with the advent of this AI, it doesn't get any more evil than the AI. Now, you can use it for good or you can use it for bad. Now, we know this devil, the wicked, he's using it for what? Evil. All right. Because why? The Lord put the spirit on him to do that. All right. He's not going to use this AI for the betterment of mankind. All right. Although he's going to tell you that you can get a supplement, a universal basic income, because the job market is going to be dried up with the AI. All right. Here it is. Wendy's, a restaurant, a fast food restaurant, is really taking it to the next level. Talking about fast food, only the drive-through and DoorDash at this new model of Wendy's is available. No dining in anymore. See, you can't come in and use the cash register and the kiosk in the bathroom. No, in order for you to use this Wendy's, you have to either go through the drive-through or be a DoorDash. Okay. But they do have a section outside where you can eat. But as far as going inside and dining in, that model is over with. All right. And that's soon to come throughout all these other restaurants. Okay. And stores as well, where if you don't got any business there, guess what? You don't need to be there. Walmart is already doing it. All right. Walmart is doing it with curbside pickup. All right. A lot of these stores are doing curbside pickup because why? They want to take the aspect of being human or humans contacting with each other and bring it to a bare minimum. Because why? AI is going to eventually replace all the human jobs. Okay. See, and they're going to give you a supplement. All right. More than likely a basic income, 2,000 credit or however much they want to give you for the month. All right. And depending on your credit score or whatever it is at that time, they can give you more or they can detract whatever you have. See, this is the benefit of them going all digital. All right. Where you no longer have the power of the dollar. All right. Once they remove the dollar, first of all, once they remove the gold and silver back during Nixon, this system was all staged. Okay. And now they give you a what? A dollar, which is what? A fiat currency. There's no real value behind that dollar you hold in your pocket. So they're tired of playing games, man. They're just saying, we're going to go digital. We're going to let all hell break loose. We're going to let all hell break loose. And then we're going to roll out the mark of the beast. All right? We're going to roll out the mark of the beast. And this is where we're at with it. The prosperity of the wicked is short-lived. All this has to be done. All right, they gotta prosper for the time being, or how else is this going to come to pass? See, they gotta prosper because why? This is the Lord's will. Okay, He put it on them to bring forth all of this. All right, so going back, the Wendy's, the Walmart, the Domino's, whatever. Okay, for you actually going out and seeing how the world is today, compared to what's coming, you're going to have to be in the upper echelon class, man. Because in this new up-and-coming system, it's only going to be rich and poor, all right? Free and bond. It ain't going to be no in-between, see? That whole middle class, that's phasing out, all right? They getting rid of that, all right? They're deliberately tanking this economy. We're closing the Strait of Hormuz, all right? Only the wealthy is going to come out on the other side of this Strait of Hormuz. All right. And you that were borderline middle class to lower class, you're going to go to being complete poor, man. All right. And that's exactly what they wanted at. For you to either be rich or poor. They don't got time for the in-between. So it says, our forefathers prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. See? And who knows what they're cooking up behind closed doors in these labs, all right? Because we seen what they did back in 2020, all right? And then they used China as an scapegoat to push this thing where everyone was locked down, curfews, all right? It's all happening again, man, all right? But this time they're using it a little bit different tactic, but nevertheless, it's still the same results, all right? Energy lockdown. That's what's getting ready to come. All right. Well, guess what? Instead of you having a full 24 hours of electricity running through your house for the betterment of the people, you can only have a certain time slot for you to use electricity in your house. All right. Instead of you driving your car 5 days a week, guess what? You can only drive it 3 days a week on certain days, depending on your tag number. All right. It's all coming, man. See, back in 2020, they used the C-19 to get you familiar with obeying orders. But this time, they're going to use what? An energy crisis, all right? A lack of at the gas station, a lack of food at the supermarket, all right? All of this is going to be justified in them saying what? Let's put restrictions, all right? And once they introduce restrictions to the people, they already know they're going to be met with resistance. See, and we're telling you, it's coming. Okay, and what are you going to do in that day? All right, what are you going to do in that day when they put lockdowns and restrictions and things of that magnitude? See, you don't have any clue because why? You're out just doing whatever you want, man. All right, you haven't been what? Measuring the time diligently. All right, you haven't been taking heed to the servants, the prophets of who? Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. You think you're going to do your own thing in that day, okay? You think you're going to just pop up and do you, as they say. Man, I ain't worrying about that, man. I've been hearing that for the longest, all right? That America was going to be, a third world country. Okay. It's only so long that a propped up economy can continue to last, all right? The dollar is tainting. The dollar is tanking. Everything, the petrodollar is on ice, okay? Not on ice, but the petrodollar is getting ready to be phased out, man. They getting ready to bring in what? More than likely a stable coin or some form of cryptocurrency, all right? And this is what it's all culminating to, all right? Them getting ready to shut down and start back up a new system, all right? Which is why a lot of these cities are transitioning over into smart city, where everything is either online or you got to have some type of digital ID, okay? Because once the infrastructure is put into place, it's going to be easy to swap it out. But what the ultimate plan is, the RFID microchip. The prosperity of the wicked is short-lived. It has to come to pass, all right? Ain't no need to continue to put it off, man. All right, we've been praying for the Lord to speed time up, and he's speeding the time up, man. All right, he's speeding the time up. As it says, Matthew 24 and verse 22, if the days were not shortened for the elect's sake, there would no flesh be saved, man. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened, see? And that's why these days feel like, hey, it's already May 1st to be exact, all right? And we know what they said May 1st is going to happen. They're going to start putting 15% ethanol into the gas, okay? So what do you think that's going to do? To the older model cars, that's going to mess up their engine, all right? Because why? They want to push that agenda, all right? They want to push that agenda where in order for you to what? Operate on the grid, you have to acquiesce to their demands, okay? And they want everybody to have that car where it reads your body language, your breath, and everything else. It's all about control, man. All right, it's all about control. See, everything is for a purpose, okay? And we're gonna get that. The Lord has even preserved the wicked for that day. So let's go ahead and jump to Psalm 73. And let's start at verse 3. This is Psalm 73 and 3. This is where the title comes from. It says, for I was envious at the foolish. See? So looking out from a distance, hey, you can see how somebody is envious of the foolish if it seems as if the foolish is prospering. All right? Getting money, getting to the bag, as they say, you know, because that's what everybody wants. Everybody wants to get to the bag. Everybody wants to live a fast life. Everybody wants to be comfortable. Everybody wants to be taken care of. Nobody wants to go through the hard times, see? But the hard times is what's coming, okay? And the hard times is what woke a lot of us up to this truth, all right? Because the Lord could have had it to where we played ball, being musician, artist, or whatever. But see, he prevented all of that. Because why? He had a greater cause for us. All right? So it says, Psalm 73 and 3. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. Right. And now look, this is why people don't really believe the Bible. All right? Because they see those that don't believe the Bible as if they're prospering. All right? But they're not. It's short-lived, okay? And our people have even joined hand in hand with them, all right? They've joined hand in hand with the wicked, all right? Esau, Edom is the wicked, but our people have joined hands in hands with them, man, and become even wickeder, all right? See, Esau is on a level, but our people are on another level, man, at being wicked, okay? And it seems as if, it seems as if they're flourishing, all right? But guess what? It's short-lived, man, all right? Because once all hell breaks loose, we're going to see who has it and who doesn't, all right? We're going to see what you was doing in this time, if it's going to pay off in the times that's coming. And we're going to see what we're doing if it's going to pay off, all right? And if we of the elect, it's going to pay off. The Lord going to be dealing with us. Ain't no worries, ain't no concerns, all right? We just waiting for prophecy to play out, man. One day at a time. Because one day we're going to wake up, and just like we did back in 2020, they're going to come out with news, flashing news of something that just hit the streets, and now it's affecting everybody. All right, see? And the people ain't gonna be prepared for that day. All right, see, but we are. All right, we're going to be prepared because why? We're measuring the time diligently. All right, we're staying up on current events, news articles. We're lining them up with the truth. See, we're measuring the times. We're seeing that we at the end of this thing. All right, any day now, any day, all hell could break loose. All right, any day, because Trump refuses to let the reporters know when is he going to pull out of Iran. See, it's only so long that they can keep this thing blocked and shut down that the backup is going to start to show where the people going to feel it, man. All right. See, the whole thing of it is he wants to divert your attention from that whole Epstein list. Okay, he's hoping by keeping everything locked down and shut down and letting all this pain come to the economy that you'll forget that he ran his campaign on releasing those Epstein files, man. All right, because why? A lot of his cronies, his so-called associates, friends, are implemented in those files. And he said if they release them, it would bring the economy down, man. Because you will see some of the people that you thought were reputable had their hands in what? Trafficking, okay? So this is why he's keeping that war thing moving, because why? It's diverting the attention from off the Epstein files, okay? See? But I was foolish. What did it say? Psalm 73 and verse 3. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. See? And we were all once like that before coming into this truth. We wanted to be ball players. We wanted to be musician artists, not knowing that there's another life that comes along with that. All right? Sacrifices, worshiping different idols, man. And how do you think that would have made the Lord feel? Okay? How do you think that would have had Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai seeing us worship other idols? All right? If you got a girl and she calling on another man's name while you intimate with her, how you think that make you feel? All right? So that's why the Lord, he preserved that cluster of grapes to himself, man. All right? Known as the elect. So guess what? Those are the ones that's returning back to him before the day of judgment comes. All right? So it says Psalm 73:3, for I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. See? So you believe how they living, that guess what? They're going to continue to what? Live that way and pass down that wealth from generation to generation. All right? But no, it's short-lived. All right? They don't get to continue to live forever. See? And that's why they quick to say, when you tell them that, hey, what do you think about the so-called white man taking Jake into captivity? They quick to say, oh, that was my forefathers. Those were our ancestors. But yet, you're profiting off of that. All right? You can live in an affluent neighborhood. You're on stolen land. And you think you're just going to ride off into the sunset? No. The prosperity of the wicked is short-lived. All right? It says, for there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men. See? This is why you're never going to see who's truly implemented in that EPS file. All right? They'll shut the economy down. They'll tank this bitch before they release those files, man. Here it is. They released 300 pages or data of files, but they still got 300 more. They'll never release the complete files of the EPS. All right? Because this economy would tank. It'll crash. All right? It'll crash. It couldn't withstand that impact. People would sell their stocks, their 401ks would plummet, their IRAs would plummet, you know, and it'll just be all hell, man. Because it would have a profound impact worldwide, man. Globally, okay? Because a lot of these other countries, they hold treasuries in the United States, bonds, and so forth. All right? Just imagine that some of these big wigs, things that were implemented in the files were made public. See? But everything is coming to an end. All right? Everything is coming to an end. The prosperity of the wicked is short-lived. They're gonna have it. They're gonna have prosperity just long enough to roll out this microchip. All right, and to make it mandatory. And then after that, that's it. It's a wrap. It's finished. Okay. So it says, for there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, right? Because why? They're in power. Okay, but guess what? The Lord's going to bring them to judgment, all right? They're going to be the first crops of slaves in the kingdom, man. All that wealth that they got, that they're building these bunkers with, little do they know, that's going to preserve them for what? Their judgment in the kingdom. To have what? That continual employment, all right? It's all coming to pass, all right? And we understand, no one gets away from Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, all right? He has a purpose for everyone, even the wicked. It says, they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. See? They don't get the same punishment, all right? See, if that happened to any other man, they would hit him with statutory rape. They would tell him that what? you got time behind bars, man. See, but these older, you know, Edomites, they've been doing this shit for decades, man. Building underground tunnels where they could transport hot, what do they call them, hot dogs and pizza from one plantation to another. They got tunnels up under these. It was said, don't know how true it is, that there's a tunnel up under the White House, man, showing you that this damn country was built on complete and utter wickedness, man. They tell you it's a God-fearing country. They don't know anything about the Lord, man. That's why they say, in God we trust. Which God do you trust, man? All right. Esau Edom doesn't trust the power of the book, the Holy Bible. He trusts his devil, his God, who is Satan. All right. Molech, Baal. All right. Going back to who? Babylon. All right. Because this is all America is. It's just Babylon the Great. A lot of the same principles is from what? Babylon, and more specific, back in Rome too. You see a lot of influence of Rome here in America. All right, from the what's that? The Abraham Lincoln statue, you know, with the columns and things like that. A lot of those things are similar to how it was back in ancient Rome. All right, America's just Rome all over again. Okay. So it says they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. See, they don't have to worry about being held in contempt by a peer of theirs, you know, in front of a judge and juror. Because why? You'll never know who they are, man. Now we tell you some of them who we think, you know, but the ones that we don't know, guess what? You know, they're going to continue to do wicked. We tell you about the central bankers, you know, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, so on and so forth. But there's way more, man, that we'll never find out. But see, the Lord's going to bring them all to light, right? The Lord's going to judge them all, man. Because why? No one gets away, all right? Let's read that again. It says, they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore, pride compasseth them about as a chain. See? This is why wickedness continues to flourish, man. Because they don't have anything to worry about. Who's going to bring them up on charges? Okay? They got everyone in their back pocket. Okay? See? They're not like other men. Okay? They write the rules. If you writing the rules, you don't got to abide to them. You just got to put people in place to enforce them. Okay? They write the rules, the laws, the legislations. How the hell you going to bring them up on charges that they made? It'll never happen. See? So it says what? It says, therefore, pride compasseth them about as a chain. Violence covereth them as a garment. See? That's how you know who the wicked is. Violence covered them as a garment. Where do you see? Every place the so-called white man goes, he what? Starts wars, man. Violence covers him as a garment. That's his garment, violence, man. A hallmark or trademark of Esau Edom is what? Violence, wars. All right. They got a saying that says all wars are wars of the bankers. All right. See, these central bankers, they fund either side. All right. Now they're mad because why? Iran has its own resources. It doesn't need the backing of a central bank. This is what it all boils down to. See, all the other countries, they were able to put into debt. Okay. But see, Iran plays by a different rule because why? They got that oil over there, man. See, America wants that oil. See, America was able to go inside Venezuela and take that, but they thought he was going to be able to do the same thing in Iran, but not so much, not so. Because why? Iran is backed by who? Russia and China. See? America thought they was just going to come to Iran, take over the Strait of Hormuz, get that oil, and skate away. No, that's them Persians, them Kharjins, all right, and they backed by Russia and China, okay. So America, through Israel, the least of the flock should draw them out, has got themselves into a quagmire, okay? And Trump's pride won't allow him to retrieve. So guess what? It's only going to escalate, all right? And guess what? We're all for it. High prices at the gas pumps, food prices going up, and then eventually it's going to be a famine. Because once the prices are high enough where people are complaining, guess what? It's going to run out. See, they complain about the prices, but guess what? They're going to still pay it. Because why? They believe that there's still hope. They believe Trump when he says once we remove out of Iran, gas prices are going to plummet it down. They believe that shit. That's why it says never trust thy enemy. If you believe that America's pulling out of Iran and your gas prices are going to go down, you're sadly mistaken, all right? Let's read that again. It says, give me 1 second. Psalm 73 and verse 6. Therefore, pride compasseth them about as a chain. Violence covered them as a garment. War was in his heart, man. You think Trump is pulling out with the strongest military known to mankind without taking that oil? No. Okay? He wants that oil, man. All right? Because it's a major component in this up-and-coming system. All right? He wants that oil. Okay? He wants to control that Strait of Hormuz. But this is what it's all culminating to. All right? World War III. And it's on the horizon. All right? We're in the beginning stages of World War III. And it's only going to escalate. Now, once they make the microchip mandatory, that's when the missiles come flying. But until then, it's just rumors of war. When they make the microchip mandatory, in order for you to buy and sell, you have to have a charagma, a chip in your hand. Once that happens, look for the missiles. As it says, look up, for our salvation is nearer than we believe, man. All right? The missiles come down and destroy America, and the elect get beamed up into the chariots, the so-called UFOs. All right? This is at stake. This is what we're waiting on. All right? But if you think for 1 second that the United States of America is retrieving out of Iran when the Bible says he covereth his garment with violence, man. That's a hallmark of this damn devil. All right? Violence. Okay? Who do you think gave him the sword? That's his blessing. All right? Our forefather Isaac blessed Esau with the sword. That's how he lives, man. And you think he's coming out of Iran empty-handed? Man, come on. You gotta know your enemy. All right? You gotta know your enemy. He ain't coming out empty-handed. He's coming out with something. Okay? He's coming out with something, and it ain't gonna be what he think. All right? So that's a good precept. Let's read that one more time. It says, Psalm 73 and 6. Therefore, pride compasseth them about as a chain. It says, violence covered them as a garment. Verse 7. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. See? And back coming up, you know, there was an old saying that your mom would tell you, don't let your eyes get bigger than your belly, man. Meaning what? Just because you see all that food on your plate, don't think that you're going to be able to eat all of it, man. See, but that's Esau Edom, man. He's a glutton, all right? He takes more than what he needs, all right? That's why the world is in such shambles, man. He doesn't observe the Sabbath, you know, as Trump says, Dig, baby, dig, which is a slogan for what? Uh, Digging oil out of the earth. All right. He doesn't let the earth replenish and rest. See, the Sabbath was meant for what? A day of rest. But under this damn evil, wicked ruler, he digs 7 days a week, man. All right. He digs 7 days a week. Oil. All right. Because oil is used in just about everything, whether it's light oil or heavy oil. All right. Light meaning what? Oil used in like cars and things of that magnitude. And then heavy oil, of that crude oil used in what? Refineries. All right. See, this devil doesn't observe the laws of who? Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. He makes his own laws up. Okay. But see, in due time, as it says in Ecclesiasticus 10:4, the Lord will set one over it that is what? Profitable. And who's that one? Yahweh Shai. All right. So until then, we just, buying our time, doing what's commanded of us, as into what? Being patient. So it says, their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than their heart could wish. See? That's why it says, if grape gatherers came, would they not leave some? But see, Esau Edom, he overdoes it, man. He don't know how to let the earth replenish. He doesn't know how to let the earth replenish, man. All right, he just overdoes it. All right, because why? That's who he is. All right, he's a child that's unfit to rule, man. All right, that's why it says, woe to them who wake up early. What is that, Ecclesiastes? Let's see if we can get that. It might be 10 if I'm not mistaken. See, Ecclesiastes. This is Ecclesiastes 10:16. It says, woe to thee, O land, when thy king is a child. See? And that's what America has. A king, a child as a king. All right. And just in general, Esau Edom, he's a damn child, man. He's not fit to rule to this magnitude. All right. So Ecclesiastes 10:16, woe to thee, O land, when thy king is a child, and thy prince eat in the morning. See, Esau Edom eats whenever he feels like it, whether he's hungry or not. He's gonna eat, take from the land. All right. He don't know how to let the land replenish it itself. See, that's why he's unfit to rule, man. Which is why the prosperity of the wicked is short-lived. It's gonna live long enough to allow this chip to come out, and then he's getting taken out of power. All right. So back to Psalm 73. Back to Psalm 73 in verse, what were we at? 7. It says, their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than their heart could wish, but yet they want more. They can never be filled. All right, which is why the Lord's gonna make them vomit it all up, man. Because when you continue to eat when you full, what happens? You gotta vomit it up, man. See, that's this damn devil, man. He don't know how to eat in due time, in due season. So it says, verse 7, their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than the heart, heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly. Concerning oppression, they speak lawfully. See? You can only imagine what they say behind closed doors, man. All right? You can only imagine. They speak what? Lawfully. All right? Concerning oppression, man. All right? They can give a damn about you know, you being oppressed. Let's see how that looks in a different translation. Psalm 73. And what's that? Verse 8. Let's see if we can get that in a different translation. Psalm 73 and 8. All right. Concerning oppression, they speak lawfully. All right. This is Psalm 73 and 8, the NLT. They scoff and speak only evil. In their pride, they seek to crush others. See? And what is that in the book of Micah? It says they oppress a man by taking his house, man. What's that? Micah 2. Give me 1 second. Micah 2, and it might be verse 2. They oppress a man by taking his house, man. They tax you. If you can't pay your taxes, guess what? You lose your land. Here it is, that land been passed down to you from generation to generation. But if you don't pay your taxes, they're going to take it. Eminent domain, all right? Where the city can cease or the government can cease your land, all right? This is why this devil has to go. This is Micah 2 in verse, give me 1 second. Micah 2 and 2, it says, and they covet fields and take them by violence. What do we read? His garment is covered in violence. This is how you know Trump ain't pulling out of Iran without something escalating, all right? Because why? The least of the flock should draw them out. The state of Israel got him involved in here for that very specific reason. All right, because why? That might that this military has. Okay, America is known as a powerhouse, the greatest military known to mankind. And boy, when Yahweh Shai shows up, the fireworks are gonna get started, man. We can't wait. We can't wait for when Yahweh Shai shows up. All right. So it says Micah 2 and 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence. Why? Because violence is their garment. That's who they are. Okay? Violence. Esau, he's a man of the field. All right? He hunts. All right? It says, and they covet fields and take them by violence in houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. They don't care how long that farm been in your family for. If you got some real estate that they want, they'll take it, man. Okay? They'll offer you something. If you don't take it, they got all type of tricks, man. They'll build a highway over your house or around your house or whatever it takes to force you from out of that place, that land. Because why? They'll never tell you that that land has resources on it, and they want it. See? They want it. All right? So they covet, and whatever it is that they want, they take. They want that Strait of Hormuz. They want those oil rigs over there. They ain't leaving without it. Okay? They don't care if it's at the expense of its people. You paying $5, $6, $7 a gallon for gas. They don't care how long it takes. All right. See, and that's the pride. It says that pride covers them like a chain. And their garment is what? Violence. So those two combined together, you know we in for a rough summer. All right. You know prices are only going to go up. Okay. because this thing is only going to escalate, Lord willing. Abba Ratazah, Father will, right? So now jumping back over to Psalm 73 in verse 8, they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak lawfully. Now, when we read that in the NLT, the New Living Testament, it said that what? It said, they scoff and speak only evil. In their pride, they seek to crush others. You got to know who you got to know who you're dealing with, man. You got to know your enemy. To what? Never trust him. If you trust this devil, that's on you. You've been warned. You've been warned. Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10. Never trust thy enemy. See? But some of us, sadly to say, are going to have to find out the hard way. We just pray that we don't have to. All right? That's why we're doing the work. It says, let's see another version. The WEB, they are corrupt and speak wickedly. Concerning oppression, they speak lawfully. All right? Let's get one or two more. The CSB, they mock and they speak maliciously. Let's get another one. The BBE, the Basic Bible in English, their thoughts are deep with evil designs. Their talk from their seats of power is of cruel acts. Dang! What? That BBE hit hard. Basic Bible in English hit hard. Let's read this again. The BBE, hey, this is Esau Edom to the T. 73 and 8. Psalm 73 and 8 in the BBE. Their thoughts are deep with evil designs. The prosperity of the wicked is short-lived. Their thoughts are evil. It says their thoughts are deep. Hey, deep with evil designs. You can't even imagine what the Lord put on this damn devil, man. But see, we know what his thoughts are concerning his new world order. All right? We know that he wants complete and utter control, man. His thoughts are deep and evil. Okay? See, this Bible puts us up on game, man. This Holy Bible, it puts us up on game. And let us know how Esau Edom thinks, man. How sadistic he is. Okay? And to never trust this devil, man. All right? Because if you in the world and you don't have this truth, this devil could sell you, he could, as Jay-Z say, he could sell snow to an Eskimo, man. See? This damn devil is not to be trusted, man. His thoughts are deep. And let's read it again. I can't say it that good, so I'm going to just read it. Psalm 73 and 8 in the BBE. Their thoughts are deep with evil designs. It says, their talk from their seats of power is of cruel acts. Of cruel acts. So you can only imagine what they've been planning, you know, for this very moment. Cruel acts, martial law, civil unrest. They've been planning all of this. It says what? Let's read it again. Their thoughts are deep with evil designs. We're gonna see it pretty soon, shortly. Lord willing, we got to go through it, man. But see, the only thing that's separating us from the others is that we got Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai to what? Guide and direct our paths. All right? Once this devil, this wild man is let loose, okay? And it's coming quicker than we believe. That's why it says, now is our salvation nearer than what we believe. We at the end of this thing, man. We about to be delivered, all right? Get yourself ready for the kingdom, which is going to be here on earth. Ran by who? Yahweh Shah, an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. So it says their thoughts are deep with evil designs. Their talk from their seats of power is of cruel acts. Can you imagine what they talking about, what they gonna do, what they wanna do if they had the time? See, this is why the Lord got to cut their time. If it wasn't for the elect's sake, there would no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened because they're thoughts of cruel acts. See? This devil got to be taken out of power, man. He's not fit to rule. Okay? So Psalm 73:9 says what? They set their mouth against the heavens. See? They even set their mouth against the heavens, man. How? You see what they do to the image of our Lord and Savior? They painted him like a so-called white man. The angels, they look like what? Little so-called white babies, all right? They got who? Our Father Yahweh with the finger reaching out, you know, allegedly it's supposed to be God, you know, but what? They painted it, they painted in their likeness to make him look like who? A so-called white man, see? So it says what? It says they set their mouth against the heavens. That's blasphemy, okay? That's why this devil don't receive any repentance. All the other nations after their 1,000 years are up are going to be able to go back to their land and worship us. But after Esau, Edom, 1,000 years are up, he's done away with, man. Although he sought with tears, there was no place for repentance. This devil can't repent, man. He's finished. All right, because why? That's what he was designed for. All right, Proverbs 16:4, the Lord have created all things, even the wicked for the day of evil. That's why he was created for. He wasn't created to be around forever. All right, he was created for one particular specific task, and he's doing that. So it says they set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. See? They put all these damn laws and regulations for other countries and sanctions on other countries, but them themselves, they don't have to answer to them. Because why? They're in power, they're in rulership. When you're in rulership, you don't answer to anybody else, man. They answer to you, see? But it's that pride that's gonna take them down, man. It's that pride that's gonna take them out. As it says, pride goeth before the destruction and a haughty spirit before the fall, roughly paraphrased. All right, but we read Proverbs 16:4, it says what? The Lord hath made all things for himself. Yea, even the day of wicked, even the wicked for the day of evil. This is Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 4. It reads, Yahweh hath made all things for himself. Yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. See? The Lord has got it all in control. All right? The prosperity of the wicked is short-lived, man. They're not going to, this place isn't going to go on like this forever. The Lord is ready. The Lord is getting ready to wrap this thing up, man. All right, Lord willing, we be on the right side when he does, okay? That's our whole thing. We want to be on the right side when the Lord brings this thing to a wrap. All right, because if not, whoever's on the wrong side gonna have a lot to say, a lot to pay in that day, all right? But the prosperity of the wicked is short-lived. He ain't gonna see everything he thinks he's gonna get to see. All right, let's get that. Job 20 and verse 15. This is Job 20 and 15. It reads, he hath swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. The Most High shall cast them out of his belly. See? So right now, his eyes are bigger than his belly, man. Don't let your eyes get bigger than your belly, you know? Don't let your eyes get bigger than your head, or however the saying goes. Esau done let it happen. So now he has but a short time. He's eating fast. He's eating fast, man. And the Lord's gonna make him vomit it all up. All those riches that he think he's getting, that he thinks this AI is gonna bring, he gonna vomit it all up, man. It's all coming to an end. Let's read that again. Job 20 and 15. It says, he have swallowed down riches. See? He coveted fields. So he swallowed them down. He ain't chewing. This devil ain't chewing. He ain't cutting shit up. It says he swalloweth down. He have swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. When Yahweh Shah returns, man, he's taking them all out. It says the Most High shall cast them out of his belly. See? The Most High is the one that's going to do it. All right? So that what? You will know that the Most High rules in the kingdom of man. He gave this basis, that's Daniel 4 and 17, if I'm not mistaken. He gave the basis of man this kingdom and riches. And the Most High is going to take them down so that you can know that the Most High dwell. Let's just get it. Let's just get it, man. Daniel 4 and 17. Most High cold with it, man. He allowed this devil to swallow down riches, knowing that it's a child. A child don't know how to chew. You give a little baby a piece of meat or whatever, it's going to swallow it down. That's why you got to chew it up before you give it to them. Or else they'll choke on it, man, and vomit. But that's what this damn ruler that's a child is swallowing down riches, man. And the Lord knew that. That's why the Lord didn't chew his food. That's why the Lord didn't chew his food up for him. All right? Because he know he was going to make him vomit it up. So let's get that Daniel 4 and 17. This is the book of Daniel, which is another prophet. Chapter 4 and verse 17. It reads, this matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men and giveth it to whomsoever he will. So he gave Esau, Edom, these riches to give him the power to rule over all these other kingdoms with his military might. And that's why we see this earth as such symbols. All right? It says, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of man. It don't get any more basic than this damn devil that's ruling right now, man. Because he's unfit to rule. He's a child. He don't even know how to chew up his food correctly, man. He swallowed down riches. This Bible is exposing them, man. Let's read that again. Job 20 in verse, what is it? Job 20 in verse 15. He swalloweth down riches. He can't even chew his food, man. He swallowed down these riches. Because why? He knows he has but a short time. See? The prosperity of the wicked is short-lived. His AI is pretty much to the extent that's all he's going to be able to get. All right? The AI is ushering in the mark of the beast. That's the intent, that's the farthest he's going to get. For the Lord makes him vomit it up. Because he don't know how to, he's not fit to rule. He don't even know how to chew his food, man. It says, he hath swallowed down riches and shall vomit them up again. The Most High shall cast them out of his belly. See? You know when a baby eats too much, you got to burp. You got to pat him on the back to burp him. Man, the Most High got to take this damn child out of power, man. Because he ain't fit to rule, man. We see this earth is in such misery, man. They don't observe the Sabbath. They don't let the earth rest. They send satellites up into the orbit, into the heavens. They pollute the oceans. And then they got a nerve to talk about Jake in the neighborhood is bringing down the value of the neighborhood. But look what you're doing to the earth. You brought down the value of the earth with your satellites in space, and then they fall into the ocean, and then the damn fish gotta, man, this devil gotta go, man. Because Jake is the least of the problem, man. Yeah, Jake neighborhood may be, unpleasant to the eye, but look at the whole damn earth, man. See? Look at the whole damn earth. It's morning. All right? Jake ain't over there in London fucking up shit. It's only this damn devil, man. Okay? He's the real problem, which is why he got to go. All right? Which is why the Lord is going to make him vomit up those riches, because he don't even know how to chew. So it says, he have swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. The Most High shall cast them out of his belly. Right? Don't even know how to burp himself, man. Straight up brute. All right? That's what they call him, a brute. All right? Let's get a couple more, then we close out. This is Job 20, in the same chapter, and let's jump down to verse 20. Job 20 and 20. It says, surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desires. See? He let his eyes get bigger than his belly, man. He bit off more than he can chew. He ain't gonna savor everything that he desired. See? The Lord gonna make him vomit it up just when he think he's at the end. Nah, you ain't at the end. You're at the end of your rulership, all right, but not the end of your enterprise. Job 20 and 20, it says, surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He, Esau, Edom, shall not save of that which he desired. There shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. See? It's a wrap, man. If the Lord says it, you can book it. Ain't nobody gonna be looking for this man in that time. His goods are gonna be what? Useless. It says, there shall none of his meat be left, therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. See? It's a wrap, man. This devil has been exposed. There's nothing he can do to stop prophecy. He might well just get prepared for what? Slavery. Hardcore bondage, all right? Because he gonna be the one that catches the most hell in the kingdom. Because why? He's the wicked. See? We catching hell because why? We're righteous, and this is a wicked system. So you can only imagine in a righteous system how much hell the wicked is gonna catch, man. Because he can't get right. See? All the other nations, yeah, they did us dirty, but this damn devil, he exceeded that. So this is why he got to get it the hardest, man. All right? And this is why after his 1,000 years are up, pursuing the Obadiah 1 and 18, he's going to be done away with. So it says, Job 20 and 22, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Verse 23, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him. See? This is what's getting ready to come, man. This devil thinks he's getting ready to what? Fill his belly, but the Most High wrath is getting ready to come upon him, man. The prosperity of the wicked is short-lived. AI is pretty much to the extent that's the farthest he's going. He's never going to the planets, as he claims. He's never even been out of the Van Halen belt, yet alone step foot on Mars or the moon. That's the mindset of this devil, man. They imagine vain things. They want to try to offset prophecy, because it says if you can search out the heavens and the depths of the sea, then will I do away with Israel, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Well, the pride of this man, he's so proud that he tried to go to the moon, but he can't get past the Van Halen belt. Because why? He wants the Lord to do away with us. That's why he falsely accuses us day and night. See? We're not ignorant of your devices. 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of your devices. And Satan just goes into what? Adversary. You got the spiritual demon Satan, and then you got his physical counterpart, Esau Edom, the so-called self-proclaimed white man. See? But we're not ignorant, man. We know you will love no more than to have the Lord to do away with us, because that's why you search out the heavens, the space, and the depths of the sea. See, he reads the Bible too. All right, this devil reads the Bible too. But the thing of it is, the Lord didn't give it to him to have understanding. So it says, Job 20:23, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. He's getting ready to eat right now. This whole AI, that's him eating. All right? When he get the chip going, that's him swallowing. All right? But then the Most High is going to come down with that wrath, those missiles. They're going to destroy this place, man. As soon as he make that chip mandatory. All right? It ain't going to be too much longer after that. All right? Days maybe. All right? And then what? We out of here. All right? Via by the way of who? Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai and the host of heaven, the angels, the chariots. All right? So the prosperity of the wicked is short-lived. All right? But see, the eternal kingdom is forever. All right? And that's for who? The Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the speckled birds. Okay? So that's pretty much going to be it for this sermon, this lesson. And with that being said, we're going to turn and face the east towards Jerusalem, and we're going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. All right? Shalom to the elect, and to the next time, if it be the Lord's will, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Stay strong, stay in the faith. We're almost home. Shalom. Peace.